Look at your wrist. That thread, that metal, that symbol you wear, did you choose it or was it chosen by someone else? What if I told you that this simple gesture, placing a bracelet on one side or the other, can alter your energy, your destiny, and your connection to the universe? It's not a superstition. It's not a fad. It's an energetic code. For millennia, insiders have known that our hands are not the same. One projects, the other receives. But today, amidst digital noise and soulless aesthetics, we've forgotten that every accessory is a vibrational statement. And what looks like an ornament can be a key or a chain. This journey isn't about jewelry. It's about power. The power you've been misusing every day without even knowing it. And now, with the guidance of the scribe of the gods, Thoth, the architect of cosmic language, we will decipher the secret that transforms your wrist into an altar of manifestation. Before starting this video, remember to subscribe and like. Look at your wrist. That small object you wear there, a bracelet, a piece of string, a shiny metal, seems harmless, right? You chose it for style, out of habit, perhaps it was a gift. But what if I told you that this everyday gesture is one of the most powerful energetic acts you perform every day? What if I told you that, unknowingly, you could be sabotaging your energy, your prosperity, your balance, just by wearing it on the wrong side? It's not an exaggeration. It's a code that has been hidden, distorted, forgotten. Because what we call wrist isn't just a joint, it's a portal, an activation point between your body and the universe. And what you place there, that symbol, that crystal, that metal, isn't just an accessory. It's a vibrational statement, an energetic signature that you project or absorb, depending on which side you choose. Most people never question it. They see a bracelet, they place it on the hand that feels most comfortable. But that comfort can come at a price, because our hands are not the same. They are not symmetrical in the invisible. The right one projects, the left one receives. One is the sun, the other the moon. One is the sword, the other the chalice. And when you place a symbol without knowing this difference, you may be reversing the natural flow of your energy. Imagine you wear a protective crystal, like black tourmaline, on your left wrist. You do this because you want to protect yourself from the environment, from bad vibes. But the left wrist doesn't repel. The left wrist absorbs. And that crystal, designed to project a shield, becomes a sponge. Instead of repelling negativity, it attracts it. It amplifies it. And you unknowingly become a magnet for anxiety, fatigue, and irritation. Now imagine the opposite. You wear a rose quartz on your right wrist. You seek love, healing, inner peace. But your right wrist doesn't receive. Your right wrist throws. And that crystal, which should nourish you, begins to drain you. You project your loving energy out into the world, but you don't retain it. You become an involuntary energy donor. People feel good around you, but you feel drained, empty without knowing why. This is the silent mistake 99% of people make. It's not the wrong crystal. It's the wrong side. It's like putting a battery in backward. The system doesn't work. Or worse, it's reversed. And what was supposed to protect you weakens you. What was supposed to heal you drains you. All because you don't understand that your wrists are opposite poles of an energetic circuit. But you are not doomed to repeat that mistake. Because now you know. Now you can look at your wrist with different eyes. You can ask yourself, what am I projecting? What am I absorbing? What symbol am I unknowingly activating? And with that question, your transformation begins. Because the power is not in the bracelet. It's in your consciousness, in your intention, in your ability to choose wisely. This is just the beginning. The first step on a journey that will lead you to rediscover the hidden language of your hands, the energetic code that Thoth left engraved in the fabric of the universe. And you now are ready to read it. To understand the power you carry on your wrists, it's not enough to observe the present. You have to travel back to the origin, to the sands where energy was first written. Because before there were watches, fashions, or festival bracelets, there was a civilization that understood that the human body was not just flesh and blood, but sacred geometry, a cosmic antenna, an instrument of creation. And at the heart of that wisdom was Thoth, the scribe of the gods, the architect of the universal language. Thoth was not just any god. He was the intelligent principle that wove reality with symbols, with words, with vibrations. It was said that his mind contained the blueprints of the universe, that his every gesture was a living equation. And among all his legacies, one of the most hidden was the code of the hands. For Thoth knew that our limbs were not symmetrical in the invisible. That right and left were not mirrors but poles. One projects, the other receives. One is the sun, the other the moon. And in that polarity lies the secret of manifestation. The ancients didn't wear bracelets for aesthetic reasons. Egyptian priests, Greek initiates, Indian shamans, all knew that whatever is placed on the wrist activates a channel. That metal, stone, thread are not neutral. They are amplifiers. And if they are placed on the wrong side, the circuit is reversed. The energy is distorted. The body enters into conflict. Thoth taught that the right hand is the solar channel. It's the sword, the gesture that signs, that builds, that defends. It's the arm that sends intention out into the universe. When you place a symbol there, you're projecting it. You're saying, this is what I am, this is what I want, this is what I manifest. It's the channel of action. But the left is something else. It's the chalice. It's the lunar portal. It's the hand that receives, that absorbs, that intuits. It's the channel of emotion, of vision, of mystery. What you place there you don't throw. You invite it. You attract it. You incorporate it. And here's the key. If you place a protective crystal on your left side, you're not creating a shield. You're absorbing the energy that crystal contains. If you place a love symbol on your right side, you're not healing yourself. You're giving away your loving energy to the environment. The circuit is reversed. And what was meant to nourish you drains you. What was meant to protect you exposes you. Thoth knew that the human body is a microcosm, that every part reflects the whole, that our hands are terminals of a larger system. And that's why his disciples didn't use random amulets. Every stone, every metal, every symbol was placed with intention, with knowledge, with respect. Because they knew that the universe responds to the vibration you emit. And that vibration begins in your wrists. Today, amidst the noise, we've forgotten that code. We wear bracelets out of fashion, habit, impulse. But the body doesn't forget. Energy doesn't forget. And every time you place a symbol on your wrist, you're activating a channel. You're sending a signal. You're writing in the quantum field. The question is, what are you writing? What you chose, or what someone else programmed into you? Thoth left clues. In the Hermetic texts, in ancient rituals, in the gestures that still survive in initiatory cultures. And now that knowledge returns to you. Not for you to worship, but for you to use. Because your hands are not just tools. They are keys. And your wrists are portals. The energy is waiting. The universe is listening. And you now know how to speak to it. This is where the story gets awkward. Because now that you know your wrists are portals, with the right one projecting and the left one receiving, an inevitable question arises. How many times have you unknowingly reversed that flow? How many times have you placed a powerful symbol on the wrong side, believing you were protecting, healing, or manifesting yourself, when in reality you were sabotaging your own energy? This is the silent error, the invisible short circuit, the gesture that millions repeat every day without suspecting that they are draining their vitality, amplifying their fears, projecting their shortcomings. Not out of malice, not out of ignorance, out of programming. Because no one taught them that the body has polarities, that symbols aren't neutral, that a bracelet can be medicine or poison. Imagine this. A person feels the atmosphere is heavy, that there's envy, tension, bad vibes. They decide to protect themselves. They buy a black tourmaline bracelet, a stone known for its ability to repel negativity. But they put it on their left wrist. What did they just do? They activated a shield on the absorption portal. Instead of repelling, it starts attracting. Instead of blocking, it starts filtering. And that person unknowingly becomes an energetic sponge. They feel more tired, more irritable, more anxious. And the worst part, they blame the crystal. They think it's not working, when in reality they're wearing it backward. Now imagine the opposite. Someone is seeking self-love, emotional healing, inner peace. They buy a rose quartz, a gentle, receptive stone designed to nourish the heart. But they place it on their right wrist, the projection channel. What happens? Instead of absorbing that energy, they begin to emit it, to give it away, to empty themselves. The people around them feel good, they feel welcomed, but they feel drained, empty, as if they're giving more than they have. Because they are. They're projecting their healing energy without holding it back. They're emptying their cup to fill others. This is the short circuit, the 99% mistake, the gesture that seems innocent but disrupts the flow, that turns the talisman into a drain, that transforms the shield into a magnet. And the most dangerous thing is that it leaves no visible traces. There is no alarm, no warning, only subtle symptoms: fatigue, confusion, insomnia, sadness with no apparent cause. And it all starts with a poorly placed bracelet. But it's not just a personal mistake. It's a collective pattern. Because we've been trained to choose based on aesthetics, on fashion, on impulse. We were taught to look at the object, not the channel. To follow trends, not intuitions. And so, millions of people walk around every day with misplaced powerful symbols, creating loops of energetic self-sabotage. They project fear. They absorb chaos. They empty themselves. They block themselves. And they don't know why. The good news is that this mistake isn't irreversible. Because now you see it. Now you understand it. Now you can correct the flow. You can look at your wrist and ask yourself, what am I activating? In which direction is my energy flowing? Am I using this symbol to nourish myself, or to drain myself? Consciousness is the switch. The ritual gesture is the correction. And when you place the right symbol in the right channel, the circuit is reset. Energy flows. Intention manifests. The body aligns. And you finally stop being a victim of invisible error and become the conscious alchemist of your own vibration. When you wear a bracelet on one wrist, you're activating a channel. But when you place symbols on both, you enter another level. It's not just aesthetics. It's not just balance. It's a circuit. It's alchemy. It's a closed flow between what you project and what you receive. And that circuit can turn you into a channel of power or a vibrational prison. Imagine this. On your right wrist, you wear black tourmaline, projecting an impenetrable shield. On your left, rose quartz, absorbing love, healing, and peace. What happens isn't just protection and nourishment. It's synergy. It's energetic feedback. You project strength. You receive light. And that flow becomes a virtuous cycle. Your energy field stabilizes. Your intuition sharpens. Your presence becomes magnetic. You're not just defending your energy or just absorbing vibrations. You're creating a system. A bridge between the outside world and your inner universe. But if the symbols are misplaced, or if one of them is charged with a dark intention, the circuit becomes contaminated. It reverses. It becomes a toxic loop. Imagine wearing a defensive amulet on your right side, and on your left a bracelet given to you by someone out of envy, resentment, or a shadow. What happens is a short circuit. You project conflict. You absorb poison. And that cycle repeats itself, day after day, without you even noticing. You feel stuck, confused, drained, as if something invisible is sabotaging you from within. And it is. It's your own circuitry poorly programmed. This is the danger of using both wrists without awareness. Because the body doesn't distinguish between fashion and ritual, between style and intention. What you place on your wrists activates a flow. And that flow can uplift you or trap you. It can nourish you or drain you. It all depends on the harmony between the symbols, their placement, and their energetic charge. The ancients knew this. The Egyptian priests, the Andean shamans, the Hermetic initiates. They wore double bracelets in their most important rituals. Not for aesthetic reasons. For energy engineering. Because they understood that the body is a circuit. That the right wrist sends. That the left receives. And that by activating both with conscious symbols, they became channels between heaven and earth. Bridges between the visible and the invisible. But they also knew that if the circuit becomes contaminated, the body becomes blocked. Energy stagnates. Willpower fragments. And the soul becomes confused. That's why it's not enough to wear two bracelets. You have to know what you're wearing. Where you're wearing it. What your intention is. What vibration it emits. Because the circuit is unforgiving. What you project, you receive. What you absorb, you multiply. And if there's no harmony, the cycle becomes a prison. Now that you know you can choose, you can look at your wrists and ask yourself, am I creating a flow of power or a sabotage loop? Am I projecting my strength or my shadow? Am I absorbing light or poison? The answer lies in your symbols, in your consciousness, in your intention, because the circuit is already active, and you now have the power to reprogram it. You've reached the threshold. You are no longer a confused spectator in the energetic chaos of your environment. You now know that your wrists are portals, that your hands are antennas, that every symbol you place on your skin activates a circuit. But something is still missing. The fire is missing. The conscious act that transforms an object into an ally is missing. Because even if you choose the right crystal and place it in the right channel, without intention, without ritual, without presence, it remains just an accessory. Inert, mute, dormant. True power isn't in the stone. It's not in the metal. It's not in the form. It's in you, in your consciousness, in your ability to activate, consecrate, and program. And that process isn't superstition. It's energetic technology. It's applied alchemy. It's vibrational sovereignty. It's the moment you stop being a carrier and become a creator, an architect of your field, a conscious channel between the invisible and the visible. It all starts with cleansing. And I'm not just talking about removing dust or sweat. I'm talking about erasing memories, emptying the object of everything that isn't you. Because every bracelet, every stone, every thread has absorbed stories. From its extraction from the earth to your wrist, it has passed through hands, places, emotions. It has been touched by other people's thoughts, by intentions you don't know, by vibrations that don't belong to you. And if you place it without purifying it, you are activating that history. You are allowing other people's memories to enter your field. You are allowing foreign energies to mingle with your will. Therefore, before using any symbol, you must empty it. You can immerse it in salt water, leave it under the full moon, pass it through the smoke of a sacred plant, or simply hold it under water while you visualize how everything that is not yours dissolves. The important thing is not the method. It's the intention. It's the visualization. It's seeing how the object becomes neutral, silent, clean, ready to receive your code. Then comes the consecration, the pact. The moment you decide that this object will not be a fad, nor an ornament, nor a repeat, it will be a tool. It will be an ally. It will be an extension of your field. Hold the bracelet in your hands. Bring it to your heart. Breathe deeply. And declare, with a firm voice or in absolute silence, I consecrate this object to the light. May it serve the highest good. May it be a channel of protection, of wisdom, of love. May its vibration be aligned with my purpose. This act is not symbolic. It is real. It is an energetic signature, a vibrational alliance, an activation, and finally, programming. This is where you give it a mission, an order, a clear intention. If it's protection, visualize your shield. If it's healing, feel your peace. If it's prosperity, imagine your abundance. Don't think about it, feel it, live it, imprint it on the object, as if you were writing with invisible fire on its surface, as if your desire were merging with its matter. And then place it on the correct wrist, right to project, left to receive. Thus, the symbol ceases to be decoration. It becomes a channel, an emissary, an active code that works for you day and night. And this is where the real transformation happens, because you're no longer wearing a bracelet. You're carrying an extension of your will, an antenna that emits and receives according to your design, a fragment of your field turned into a tool. And that changes everything. It changes how you walk, how you talk, how you enter a space, because you know you're carrying with you a fragment of your crystallized intention, a vibrational reminder of who you are and what you're creating. This ritual is not a luxury, it's a necessity. In a world saturated with empty symbols, soulless fashions, and objects programmed by others, you regain control. You cleanse, you consecrate, you program, you decide. And in that act, you break with external programming. You stop being an unconscious carrier. You stop vibrating in the name of brands, trends, and alien ideologies. You take the helm. You take the code. You take power. And that power begins at your wrists, at those portals that connect your body to the universe, that project your intention and absorb your destiny, that can be chains or keys. Because in the end, it's not about bracelets. It's about sovereignty, about alchemy, about conscious creation. Now you know, now you see. And now, every time you look at your wrist, you will remember that your reality begins there, that your vibration is written there, that there, at that exact point, it is decided whether you are a victim of the flow or a master of the circuit. Because the universe doesn't respond to what you carry. It responds to what you are. And you now are awakened consciousness, sovereign energy, architect of your destiny. And that destiny begins in your hands. It wasn't the bracelet. It never was. It was your conscience, your intention, your ability to turn an object into a talisman and a wrist into a portal. Now you know, the right projects, the left receives. But beyond polarity, beyond crystal or metal, lies your will. The ritual that activates, consecrates, and programs. The gesture that transforms the everyday into the sacred. Every time you place a symbol on your wrist, you're writing in the book of your reality. You're tracing a circuit between your desire and the universe. And that circuit can elevate you or imprison you. The ultimate question isn't which bracelet to wear. It's, are you ready to stop being an unconscious wearer and become an energetic alchemist? Because the power is already in your hands. It's just waiting to be claimed. As always, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. See you in the next video.